If this has ever caught your eye, if you've ever wanted to reach on the store shelf to grab this, or you simply admired the beauty of this, you're really going to want to meet the guy we're going to introduce to you next. Tony Auston of Auston Design Group in Emeryville. He's our next subject. From KCBS All News 740 and FM 1069 and CBS Interactive, I'm John Scott, and this is Homegrown CEO. Tony Auston, welcome to Homegrown CEO.
Thank you.
Now, you've been around for 17 years doing this.
I have.
You're an artist by trade? Is this what was your vision for starting this company?
I'm a designer by trade, but I use many of the skills that artists use. And I started the company after being the design director for a similar company for 6 years.
This is the question I always get to with folks. You were working for someone else. What was kind of the inspiration you had? I have a better idea, a better mousetrap, or a light bulb went on. What was your motivation for taking off on your own?
I wouldn't say it was better. It was more lateral, and I always wanted to have my own design studio. And after 6 years, I'd learned all the skills I needed to learn to do that.
And you make labels for gourmet food products and wine and beer and spirits too?
Yes.
Some of your more well-known clients sit in our conference room here: Sierra Nevada, Benzinger, Rutherford. The list of clients is long and impressive.
I have a great client base. I'm very lucky to work with them.
Now, do you notice labels in a grocery store and go, I think I could do a little bit better on that?
Yes.
What's pleasing to the eye is what ultimately can make or break a product, especially when we see wine labels. They all are looking to accomplish something. What is that something as you design a logo or a label for a product? What's the make or break thing that's in you and your team's head when you start working on a project?
Well, wine labels, it may depend on the price of the wine. Some wines are sold, and they don't have to work as hard on the shelf. So I'll talk about the ones that do, and that's a grocery store level. We need them to catch the consumer's eye in that split second and entice them to reach out and touch it or pick it up. And once they do that, we know it's that much closer to the shopping cart.
So a bottle of $150 Cab doesn't need to try as hard as a bottle of $8 Petite Sirah.
Pretty much, yeah. But it has to work in its own way, because there are other $150 cabs vying for that purchase.
So there's an underlying message. Not subliminal might not be the right word, but it needs to communicate something about the product. Just like a bag of breakfast cereal or a can of soup, right?
Right. For what we do at the more luxury end, every package needs to tell a story and convey a message. And if we can tie the story into the package, it's that much easier for the proprietor of that brand to sell that product.
If you're thinking of starting a business of your own, here's my advice to you. Make sure you have a thorough understanding of the business you're going to go into, and know that you're going to need to put in a lot of long hours. 8 hours? No. 10, 12, 15 hours a day, if not more. You might need to work a 9-to-5 day, go home, feed your kids, and get them to bed. But then you're going to go back to work midnight, 1 o'clock, and you're going to be pretty darn tired for a while. But ideally, you're going to have enough adrenaline from the excitement of starting the business and all the prospects that you'll do just fine.
Okay, so you just signed yourself a beer client, 32-ounce bottle, and the client says, all right, we envision people enjoying our delicious beer on this farm, for example, and there's the big blue sky and the tractor, the picket fence or whatever. How do you take the client's original vision and transpose that onto what starts as, of course, a blank slate into a logo or a label?
We like to do a written brief and then lots of sketches based on that brief once it's approved. Pencil and paper for quite a while, and then we take it into the computer and develop it out there.
And you'll do innumerable versions to try and get what that feels like to give the client options.
Right. With our Sierra Nevada relaunch with the Pale Ale, we presented originally 27 concepts for that first round.
And one of them was a winner?
No, but the winner was a derivation of one of them.
Okay. So you've been doing this for a while. There are good days and tough days and awful days and wonderful days. What's one of the lessons that you've sort of learned in this experience? Something that you thought you knew but learned later, if you follow what I'm asking.
Yeah. Well, I do think that I learned to be a much better listener. As a young designer, I was fairly headstrong and felt like I knew the best solution to every problem, and maybe some of them were, but I also butted heads a lot with clients at the time because I thought their ideas were not right. And over time, I've learned that the clients really do have some good ideas that I can learn from. So listening and taking a moment to try out what they're proposing has led to some really good solutions.
I want to introduce you to Bogle. This is one of his designs, and I just wanted you to know that I'd like to take this home. But it's a real nice design, and this is one of the ones that they do. Tony Auston of Auston Design Group, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
You can find them online at AUSTON Design, austondesign.com.
Correct.
And we hope you'll join us again next week for another local success story. From CBS Interactive and KCBS All News 740 and FM 1069, we'll see you next time on Homegrown CEO.